wodin number 3 yewra urban kings for small and Bagbin won na ye Ghana woman yi ya chi amehene wo mrase badwafie na wodin nsem bia todwa kire bra wo ye nsentwerofo nhyiemu eno da won kran pumpunu mantamu na wo kasa edi a kire Ghana fo nyina se no kwasemu ni mampani na narodanko akufu ado wone atenu adwuma no wono maye oman yi bone kese pa na saa bone no nso eye mrane nchiama no na wo mode edinuo na wo kan dia babesi se mrase badwafo ne tenase wo mu etintim mra echese tunomuntu mra no sabio enya de ayen ha ye beji atom se obi meyobi oba ne oba nwade ana baema ne baema nwade obi so obeware dua fish ene ne eka ho enti eyachiwade eboman ye ni kwanse yesoso wonu manya adaje atenase afa mranum etintim awi anka wosemampani swane nanso yekoto nanim no sabio wone woman ye mra anasa atenu adwuma no aka wontira bankyere ho a senka wode pen keke ebesi so no waswane na aba be ye mra no isa akwakọ yehwebu ada eno no wo chese ebone kese pa wo mode aye oman ye mra ne nchiama constitution.
In the celebrated case of Tufo versus the Attorney General, the Supreme Court affirmed that happenings in Parliament are a closed book. By these provisions, the courts are replete with debates and proceedings of Parliament. Most worrying is these proceedings are initiated by some members of Parliament, even leaders of Parliament who ought to know better. Parliamentarians who are to be loyal to Parliament rather than to the Supreme Court run to the Supreme Court at the slightest opportunity to use the Supreme Court to undermine Parliament. Might be one of the reasons Parliament and members of Parliament are not respected and treated with disdain. This was exhibited by the President's refusal to even receive the LGBTQ plus bill duly processed and passed by Parliament without any legal basis. The judiciary is supportive of this conduct by the receipt and processing of a suit.
Number 3 no ewo my Ghana mu wono eneye wo my Ghana se wura mra se badwafie a wona ye chiamehene yura urban Bagbin ena atene nka no wie wa mananso ho ena wo sande abeto so se sankonwa na bi a wobutu no ogina Parliament no ni tumi so na ekowie mra se badwafo titu ni mpanimfo ewom tu mirika tentem de kokoda Supreme Court me wie ono nso ebo po ye yire se enya de obeje saa butu a wabutu nkonwa no atom no ena pani de tudwa chese sebio wonde wo hu ni pefe se eye court no ena afi mampani akache ena wo mo aka banchi no se ntampemma ena wono mo ahye da yire pa se wo mo ama Parliament na dwuma yeso ye no etimi egina nenso ni nyina no wo kase bubua na wo mpese wo bubu Parliament apre ai bi kura kase jama enema enkoyi ho ena wo man no kura ye wo crisis im no se crisis bi ani ho na se bibi wo ho a wo se ye de ni hwa na court no ene mampani na ayo.
Recent acts of the judiciary and executive, and I see them as interference in the workings of Parliament, pose a direct challenge to the essence, jurisdiction, authority, powers, and functioning of the esteemed institution of Parliament, which is the repository of the sovereign will of the people of Ghana. It is increasingly becoming clear the judiciary and the executive are seemingly colluding to weaken Parliament.
No, yura urban Samani Kensford Bagbin and artist na wakasano. Na ma minwura abato komisa ma meje na dokwe mensa na boboa no. Wode ababe tudwa chese sese de ebre na wiedu enema nyina chechirikete de go ahomboa de set enema ye ready kra ni etwato okura no watintima wie ama sese ekomonten so ya obehunu obi da number 1 obi da ase obi da mfimfini enom na eho ade a how be a ne womb titru de nkumano wono mpagya de ba ye nyina so no wo mo anya daje atete se de wo mo tete fufuo mu aba ama de aka nyina no eye kro gen feko.
During the re-exhibition of the revised provisional voters register, Commission received a total of 158 issues from registered voters across the country. I'm pleased to note that all the issues have been resolved. And as we speak, we have no further issues regarding the final voters register for the 2024 general election. As you may recall, at that meeting, we provided the political parties with a template on which to report any issues they had with the revised provisional voters register. I'm again pleased to inform you and the good people of Ghana that no political party presented any issues regarding the register for resolution. I'm pleased to note that we now have a robust and credible final certified voters register, which is fit to deliver a credible, transparent, fair, peaceful, and glorious election come the 7th of December 2024.
Mami Jane Adokwe Mensa ene ye womanyi abato komisa titireni na ate se watu na numutu ache se niema nyina kama ya ade kyen yebetimi akwa akogina so na yato abano na enora America abano na musini yo wo my Ghana mu wobapa Virginia Palmer wakasa de achense ntwerofo se America abato no asesa Yura Trump wadi nkunim na wakasa wie ya no wono nso bekasa ayeche se mo bia mohu sesebio aban asesa wa America ntino yenkuta hodi ahodo ayewo ene sede ye ne wo mo edika so bo mfa na ahwe na ebesesa no wose bibia ne ho ayesesa esanse eba ye ba nnua ye ginagina so ye ne America fo no a ye daso agina saa na enye de edika ni asesa ba ko mienu ne miensa ne nan akosi ne nsia so ye ne nyina no bo sha ahodo a wono ma hye yen ene nhyehyɛ woni ye na akonyina no sada ene bekoso akọ.
What democracy is about. So it's wonderful to see Americans and Ghanaians and other friends from other countries together, from civilian life and military life, young and old, together witnessing a very important democratic moment for the United States. And there were a lot of similarities, or there are a lot of similarities between, and I have to be careful about drawing that now, between the American election and the Ghanaian election, with a former president running against a sitting vice president. Again, historical. But there are also many differences. The United States, we're all focused on the top of the ticket. But in fact, what you see in the United States isn't one election run by a national election commission. It's many, many different elections. The presidential, of course, important, but a third of our senators are elected. Our entire lower house, or our entire House of Representatives in Virginia, where I voted, the school board members were on the ballot, and constitutional provisions. And
America bana ne musini wa my Ghana mu wabapa Virginia Palmer and ate se wo kasa no wase potogum hwegum enkwansenkro mu na ekọ ewo mu sa America de na sesa na nsuni nyina no wo my Ghana mu asa ne wo mu de ni din se de vice president ne de wakwaba de da na edi ahia no sa na ehode nso kokoyoe na nso eno no nsesa se de ye ne wo mu wo no enema ebetimi eni ebedane na yewura John Kapi wono ene ne amansan di nkuta ho edema waye ka adwuma kuo no wode asem bia ba betodwo efiri waye ka fo aboboa no a wono mo de tudwa se wasi sohwe no ayere so anka yewura bronya bosumi no mu a de etoso nkono kusi dadu nenum de na wosan sohwe ni mu aye atimi aba abonten ama wono mebekọ online akọcheke ehunu wo mbra wo mo boy nyina ehunu nanso ebetimi atwentwen ne nase kakra na nsanjurofo kobusa se die ntira wose kade abandi wo mbi papa esanse se wo hwe sika botina wono mo etua ede ekọtworo sohwe no ene de wo mo de ma wo mo ebe maake ase emu 60.9 million pe na aban na etua de aka nyina aka ekire nti se no ama meka ho a anhwe yi ebe ma kennom ne se ebe ye na muye ne beba no ebe twentwe ne nase wo kire mu sei.
We have a lot of very, very huge outstanding bills to be settled by the government. Well, first of all, let me say that we are grateful that for the BEC, they were able to pay a substantial amount of money, and so we're able to pay the examiners right after the marking was over. We've been able to pay also a number of script checkers and a few invigilators and supervisors. But there's still an outstanding amount of about 4.9 million to be paid. Our hope is that when that gets paid, we would be able to settle our indebtedness to our invigilators and supervisors, and also to pay those who did the script checking. Now,
Yura John Kapi, wono ena wone amansan di nkuta ho e wo wayeke adwumakuo nom ena ate se wo kasai na adaji Mahmoud Bawomi a okura franka e wo so no din mu de prema mpani agua no wode ne nto abo no bepie mu wasantemantamu a wonante be se nansa ene akire ne no ena okopiem wa afigya sekire east ene na afa eho ena nana ejapamiawa wono ene toso mienu oya agona bepo ahene wono anso na ehwe akire se na matra nkonwa wo agona no wo mo badwakuo no woni titinani wode wo mo haw ahodo to nanim se nursing training wo mpotem ho wonya bieye wo mo asopiti nsokura se de etie no 111 agenda no wo no anya bidie nenso wo mpagya wo mo die no mu a ebeboa pa ma pomodempa etimi atodwa Nana ejapamia ye otoso mienu ya agona bepo ahene na ate se wode wo mo haw etum mpani abedi akire nim no na ewie ya na daji Mahmoud Bawomi anso de betudwa se akokọ wohwe abrewa na abrewa anso ahwe akokọ bi ensakọ na nsaba ni nyina ne se wo mbayiri wo ho ato aba no bumbumbum de amoso no ya wono ne die animu eba ne saade ya mpunto bi a wo mo hwehwe no won sabeka
countries who Africa have the highest quality of education. Countries 54 countries. Ghana is number 2 out of 54. In the whole of Africa, Tunisia is number 1. Ghana is number 2. So let's say you need and then first, 2016, my check a problem with school. And then young computer tablets, the education among every single senior high school student.
Eno ya daji Mahmoud Bawomi no wo kire se de wo maye Ghana ngomasua na ya akono se nchena ma ehye sifum ena ate se na wo kasa no na ma me Mavis nkansa boadu wona ye mrahye badwani e wo mpotem ho wono anso ena ye soafo a abedi akira wo hwe amana ne ho nsem so ena ode tudwa kyese Ghana fo ene agona bepua na afa ho nyina no wono mo to aba na wo montom mo so no wono a obedwene akuafo ho sende obema wo monkoko nketenkete Wabapa Mavis nkansa boadu ya wayemra sebedwani ewo empotem ho afigya sekire east na ate se wo kasa no na mrasha badwani owo adakula bato mpesua so wo ye kiniye manyoku ni ba yewura agboza kwame ena ekasa yi wo de atodwa kyese enne chokochoko wo mokọ parliament na wo mokọ nso a enya de obi kana wo mutie wo mokọ akotena sese dom kase na wo madwene nepa ebeboa Ghana fo ho.
At appropriate time, as directed by Mr. Speaker, we shall take our rightful place in the chamber after where we sit and wait for whatever businesses that may come in front of us. Our advice to our colleagues in the minority MPP is to try and prioritize business that is in the interest of the people of this country.
Owura government Kwame Agboja no wono ne ya da kulumura sebedwani na ate se wo kire ba bi akini yema ene wono mo kwa asetena wo mo ebetena na abanku ntabufo Professor Samuel Anim wakasa de a chance ntwerofo se nkoma Ghana afo nyina nte inflation ye to ade ye ton ene se de ne mabo esi hurihuri ekọ ohuru se atwere du ba bi na etu se anoma na wono mo kire mu se wo hwe boboso mi no mu a nka beka se na e wo fam kakra na nso ewie ya ekowura October boso minum no ehuri na de ntia ehuri no wo kirekire mu
2024 food inflation stood at 22.8%, and again consistent with overall rate of inflation. This is the second successive month that we've seen an increase in overall food inflation, as it increased from 19.1% to 22.1%, a 3.0 percentage point difference between August and September 2024, and has further increased by 0.7 percentage points between September and October 2024. In the case of non-food inflation, we've seen non-food inflation in the last 4 months hovering between 20.5 percentage point and 21.5 percentage point. In the month of July 2024, non-food inflation was 20.5%, increased to 21.5% in August 2024, dipped by 0.6 percentage point in September 2024, and has seen a return to 21.5% for October 2024.
Aban kuntabufo ewo wamai Ghana mu yewura Professor Anim Samuel na ate se wo kasei afie yenwie kase no ewo atoye atifi mantamu bibie ni anwa so bekwai abato mpesua so na eho na yewura Francis Kwadwo Mensa wo de ato emma emu mmema awofo ne ahwefo nyina anim se wono mma na waye krado se wo mbesua nsa anadwuma ma wo mu nyi wo mayipamu emfa wo mahode nyina nkotai wono ma yese suku na wo mbekọ achi na sabre no na wonom ade kira wo kire ade pam na wo mawie suku a yetu kire gu wonso ena no wode sa afutui ema awofo
abatan fo se ekwan a obufa so ehwe wo mo bukọ school no omunwa na enkwada no nso obuho obusara ti se bo siansa no demand bukọ school ni na no ya dabo ye da bia bia ringi beta kosi eni ye bia no ti se wo hwe school fo no wo mo musi duma no so kan no wo eche school fees eji bushi stage na nso akwa ni so duma practical fee kwa na ye bia mabata so muti ti metu abata no fo se kwa nfa so no hwe school fo no mo hwe esare duma fo no so enkan
Yewura Francis Kwadwo Mensa wono ne penimpa woda Franco Men's Fashion School ano wo mo graduation ase ene wo kan asa asem na wono mo nso awie no bi e kire woni giagie na eni so a wono mani aso entete a wo mafem
mani agibebrebe sese de mudika ka ya se we dey chesa ma wo front na trends mani na so ni na asa ayo so we hwe same ya minti ni padron etwa share it is mani ya so ahead and say na ma na anyway mani agipa
I am an easy to say my point of view. We are, if you are there, my year school, if you are there, me, my baby, my joker, I'm a smart trainer, I'm saying last I am a
te wono ma apon won ho na awie school ate se wo mo kire wo mani giagie esan se wo mo wi aba monten bo bia shantare afiri mampani so ekosi de wo sha akokwafuo mu akwafuo mu nyina so te se tie bia emfa so pa bi ewo wo mo so wonua eno so ne ye gina na anopai no nsiabre mu kase bo a ye de ebeto awo no ye de esie na momo aye ye de emforo pakase se